Hello, my name is Akriti Devi Paudel, and today I'm going to present a presentation. And the title of my presentation is Perception of Mental Health Service by International Student in Australia, a Cultural Humility Perspective. So, at first, I have given a short introduction, where I have discussed about how mental health service are more than treatment and they involve dignity, belonging, and social justice. So in second point, I have talk about international student faces academic, financial, and cultural pressure impacting access to community mental health services. So the key question of this presentation is how do international students perceive fairness and accessibility of mental health service in Australia. So in the second point, I have talked about the literature review. So the key themes are cultural distance and psychological accessibility. Service often lack cultural relevance. And the second point is systemic gap and miscommunication. Bureaucracy and language barrier reduce trust. And the lack of cultural competency, where staff may not be multilingual and culturally aware. And the third one is stigma and fear. Fear of judgment prevent help seeking help. And the gap most study focus on availability, ignoring emotional safety and individual lived experience. Yeah, and the last one is framework that is being used: cultural humility model and social justice framework. So in the third point, I have talked about the methodology, where the design of the presentation is qualitative case study, and the participant was 25-year-old man who is an international student from an underrepresented cultural background. And the data collection was 15-minute semi-structured video interview, and the informed consent was taken, obtained pseudomic used. Analysis was thematic analysis, focusing on cultural humility and social justice perspective. So the ethics was participant could withdraw anytime and debriefing provided, emotional support resources were shared, and the result in the result section, in the theme one, I have talked about the feeling of seen versus ignored while delivering the service to the client. So the client has talked about like I wasn't sure the counselor would understand his background. And in theme two, I've talked about the communication gap and emotional strength, where translating his emotion into Western framework was a bit tricky for the client. And the third theme was fairness tied to respect and patience, where she gave 100%. And as he has mentioned that we could see that she tried her best. At the fifth point, I have discussed about the discussion and implication done on that study. So the emotional safety, empathy, and cultural sensitivity are as important as availability. Implication: integrate cultural meditator into service, provide multilingual resource and tailor outreach, and embed reflexibility training in practitioner education. And the fourth one is cultural humility promotes trust and better mental health engagement. So in the sixth point, I have discussed about the limitation of the studies, like single participant limit generalizability, and it was a 15-minute interview may not capture all the new sense that they have felt, and focused in depth human insight rather than systemic pattern. So in conclusion, True mental health equity is not just service availability, but feeling seen, respect, and culturally understood. And community service should tailor approaches to individual culture and emotional needs, fostering inclusive and trust. So at last, I have given a references and thank you.